Hello, it's Jane from JD Papercrafts here. Just thought I'd do a little video to show you how to make one of these little boxes. Another table favour. It's a little box again for a Lindor chocolate. It would probably work for a Ferrero Rocher or something like that as well. I was inspired to do this by a friend of mine who has I think her site is called Paper Petals by Sarah Wood. She's done a video for a larger box, which I think she learnt how to do it from a German demonstrator. But when I saw it, I thought, that's a really pretty closure. I'll have a think about trying to do a table favour with that. So that's what I've done. So you need to start with a piece of paper 4 7/8 by 3 3/8 of an inch, or 13 by 8.8 centimetres. And on the long side, we're going to score that at 3/4 of an inch, 1 1/2 inches, 2 1/4 inches, 3 inches, 3 3/4 inches, and 4 1/2 inches. Let me just mute my computer so we don't get disturbed. If you were working in metric, as I said, that would be 13 by 8.8 centimetres, and you'd score that at 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 and 12 centimetres. You also want to mark each of these panels halfway. So you want to mark that at 3/8, at 1 1/8, at 1 7/8, 2 5/8, 3 3/8, and 4 1/8. So it's, for each one it's halfway across the panel. So that would be in metric at 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 and 11 centimetres. And I've just realised I've made a mistake on my instructions here. So you now need to turn to the short side and score at 1 5/16. And I'm just trying to work out which way this is. I think it's that way around. So to score 16ths on your scoreboard, you just need to bring it across. You may be able to see that this is reaching the end of my paper is at that groove. Each of these grooves is 1/8. See if I can get it up a little bit higher. Each of these grooves is 1/8 of an inch apart. So instead of your paper reaching the groove, you want to reach the end of the bump in between, or sorry, part way through across the bump in between, so that you're halfway across, and that will enable you to score in 16ths of an inch on this. So I want to score at 1 5/16, which would be between there and there, but because I've moved it across slightly, I'm going to score at 1 3/8, which is a 16th more than 1 5/16. So the first 16th is there, and then from there to there will be 1 5/16. and then at 2 11/16, which is going to be there, 2 3/4 effectively. Okay. Now, you need to score preferably on the wrong side. From this little, you've got a score line down here and a score line across there. This is going to be the top. And you want to score from the intersection of those two score lines up to your first mark. And then move across to the intersection of the next score line with the horizontal one and score to the next mark. So you should find you're moving across to the same, at the same angle, if you see what I mean. You're scoring parallel lines across here. And they're actually easier to see on the other side, but I do want the score lines to go from on this side to make sure it folds in the right way. Okay, so I've now got, I'll fold and burnish all of these. I hope that you can see them. So you can just, the score lines you did on the scoreboard should be easy enough to fold and burnish. So then you can see there's a score line there. I find this probably easier to do with your fingernails, but you can put it down on there and give it a score. Just making sure that one's in the right place. Not sure I'm scoring these the right way. It's that way you want to score them. So they're being scored in the opposite direction, if you like, from the score lines that you did on the scoreboard. Okay, so now we need to do a little bit of cutting. I have done a template here. So you've got 6 sections along there. You want to cut straight up the score line to the first horizontal score line. Just want to loosen those up a little. Okay. When you get to the last one, we don't need this little bit, so you can remove that. Now, initially, because I was working from the same kind of box as Sarah had made, which is much bigger. I rounded the corners on this, and that was the result. And I just find it didn't go together quite as neatly as if you don't round the corners. I did this by accident because I forgot to round the corners, and I actually found it was better. So I'm going to do it like that. But if you wanted to round the corners, all you would do is fold it over like that, put it into your hole punch, into your corner punch, and then fold on the next score line and put that in. So you'd round that corner and that corner, etc. But I'm not going to do that because I think it goes together more neatly this way. So put some tape across the tab, and I did have a ruler here. Take that off. And then if you fold that in, you should be able to line that up quite nicely there. So, take the backing off your tape, fold that in and make sure you're lined up. Now let's work on the base. So you're trying to form a hexagon, that shape. So I've measured these tabs so that they should more or less work if you just fold two across, two from opposite sides, put them across and just line them up on each other, and then the next two from opposite sides again, and then finally these two. And you can, if you want to, you can put glue on more of the layers. Just be careful if you are putting glue on more of the layers, because obviously when you've put those two together and that one across, you don't want glue on the whole of that. I would just glue those two, and then finally these two. But I find it holds together with just the last ones glued. Wet glue here means you've got a little bit more time for it to, a bit of wiggle room. Just press that down to make sure the glue starts to take. And now you just need to work your way around, folding all of these in like this. It just gets slightly difficult at the last one to make sure you're going in the right direction, but once you've got them all working, it should go. I did forget to say that when you fold this over, this horizontal line, it's worth making sure that you burnish it really well. And I forgot to do that bit. But I make the mistake so you don't have to. And if you make sure they are all folding the right way, that should hold together. Might need to just give it another quick pinch. And there you are. A little table favour ready for chocolate. Hope you like it. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.